It's 1986. Your truck is sweet. The inside of your truck, you're all covered in red velvet and red shag carpet and high back buckets and chunks of wood on the dash and whatever else you've done. But there's something missing. What's missing? Oh, you gotta whack a hole in the roof. And so you done that. You put a sunroof in your truck. It's okay. Come on, sweetie, don't be like that. You could, I mean, it's your life back then, it was full of bad decisions. It was full of bad choices and regrettable actions that you took. Luckily for this one, see this one, there's got a hole in the roof and we don't like that anymore. So we got to fix it. He doesn't want a hole in the roof anymore. It's a short list of choices on how you come back from this one. And I'll show you, really, there's like, you got one thing you can do. And this is it. So the owner whacked a roof apart on another truck. So there's an outer roof skin. There's a big fat kitty. And there's the inner. Here is the size of the hole we got to fix. Oh, the skylight option. And yeah, there's no, the owner sawed the roof off it. I don't really know why he did, but he did. Mr. Fat kitty. Mr. Roof Skin's got to go on. It's a really good roof skin, actually. You can tell by looking at it, I sandblasted it. You can sandblast that kind of stuff, but you got to go really low pressure and you got to go really slow with it, and it takes forever. But this had enough patina that it had some rust pits in it. So it had to be blasted to get the rust pits out. That's the only way to deal with it without grinding it and sawing big holes in it. So anyways, that's the gig. That's what we're talking about. The way that they sawed that out, you can tell by the way they used an angry beaver to cut that out. It really kind of, it didn't corner me on how I'm going to put it in there, but it didn't really make it any easier. Because, I mean, ideally, you'd kind of like to go to a perimeter line, you know, or something where you can do the least amount of body work. But if I do that, then we're into putting in a king-size bed up in there. We want to try to keep the repair under 6 months to fix this. So, yeah, cut that to a reasonable length. If you don't got none of these friction jacks like these here, well, you should get a couple. I got a few of them. They're handy, especially for stuff like this here. Because let me tell you something. I still got a cold. It's really peeving me. Alright, so when I cut this, I marked the front. I wonder if you can still make the old Thunder. Not really, eh? It's too heavy for that. So, we got to hold her up into place there. Using the old friction jack. Get in there. Here, you just stay there for a minute. Oh, gosh. Oh, son of a bitch. Holy shit. All right. Upsy daisy. You gonna stay? Oh, that's a fella. You're falling down now. There, done. So a complication that I've got here is when they cut the big hole in the outside of it, it took all the strength out of the roof. It just goes a very fatty cakes. Need a tape measure too. So the idea here is going to be, what I'm fitting to do here is, I'm probably going to have to put a couple of tack welds on it. I really don't want to weld on the inside because the less work I can do on the inside, the better, because you got to finish it all. I want to do the majority of my work on the top side because then I don't really got to do much finish work up there. Clean it up, I'll put some epoxy on it and put an insulator in here between this and the, oh, look at that old fatty cake's looking to shake a hand. Just shake a hand and make a friend, would you? So the most work I can do on the top, the better, because then that's the least finished work I got to do. But that's what I'm gonna have to do here. Is maybe put a couple of the tacks in it to hold it in place there. The one nice thing about doing one of these roofs is it has ribs in it, so the ribs just line themselves up. Well, they don't line themselves up, but they can only go one place. So I need to see how close to center I am. So there we got 3.5. So what I'm gonna have to do here is I'm probably gonna, like I said, I'm gonna tack the thing into, 6, we gotta come way over here. I'm gonna wanna tack the thing into place here, and then I'm gonna cut through both layers at the same time and butt weld it together. I wanna butt weld it. Gotta give her a weld on the butt. So here's an obvious problem that we're running into here. I don't know how the hell they cut this out. They got the old Angry Beaver out. Nice work, boys. But a problem that we've run into is by removing the center section of this inner roof panel. Like it's a big panel and it's welded in around, and you're going to put tension on it. Once you're done welding it, it's going to be under some kind of tension somewhere. So once you cut the center of it out, well, you're going to release that tension and shit's going to move. And shit moved. Because you can see the gap we've got here. And you see how readily that pushes down. Now, I don't believe that my center piece, you can see the outline, that's the hole in the roof, and this is the center piece that I have. I got it held in place with a couple of spot welds, and then I've got, I don't know if you can see in there, I got like friction jacks pushing it up. But I don't want to push it up too far. We don't have a lot of space between this and the roof cap. In fact, I think it damn near sits on here. There was a piece of tar paper on here. You can see there's still some remnants of it that I'll have to clean off, whatever. But I don't think there ain't, but there might be a 1/4 inch maybe between the two. I don't know. So I got to be close to the right shape. Plus it can't look stupid from the inside. You can't have a hammock above you in your truck. So I don't want to have that down too far, but I also can't push this up too far with my friction jacks on the inside. See what I'm saying to you? There's some stuff going on here. So what I've been kind of doing is just kind of stand back and you kind of eyeball it. And like it does look like it might be a little bit, so I got 2 jacks in there on either end. I almost need to put something in the middle to maybe help put a crown in it. You know what I'm saying to you? We got to crown that turkey. And I do have another one. I got a couple more. Okay, so we got triplets in there now. I know, same thing, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. Because I'm just about blind, I can't see shit. But actually that kind of looks, see, it's kind of handy that it has these lines in it. And I think pretty much just hold on, would you? Are you done? I think pretty much every old truck like these will have some sort of lines in it. So yeah, it's pretty handy to be able to use those to line it up. And they also help to give you the visual when you're looking at it. So I think we're there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a few more tacks around this side of it to pin this together. And then I'm going to cut through, because I know I'm at this line and I know I'm at this line on the inside. I already know I'm there and I'm way down here. So I'm going to cut back in between this line and here, probably pretty close to there. Because if I could cut and weld somewhere along a control line, that will save the finish work. But I'm going to try to do all my welding from the top side here, so there'll be less finishing to do on the bottom side, less grinding and stuff. I should just be able to whip over the shitty little nubs of the bottom side of the weld, clean that up, and just run a fingerful of filler around it and be there. Because this truck ain't going to have a headliner in it, so the roof's got to be finished on the inside. So yeah, I think part of the problem is when they've done it, I mean, everybody's just all twisted and all bitched up here. And I know the first suggestion is, well, just hammer and dolly it all flat. And if I hammer and dolly that flat, I am going to be working that edge. and I just know that if I hammer and dolly that, if I get carried away with that, then it's going to kind of take off on me a little bit. You know, it's going to get a little weaker because there's nothing there holding it, right? See what I'm saying? There's no center. So I'm going to be cutting back far enough that this lip that's kind of flared up from their handiwork, I'm going to be cutting that off anyways, because I'm going to be coming back probably an inch anyways, all the way around there. So I got some tacks here, more than I was hoping for actually, because yeah, it really doesn't want to hold its shape. So what I'm going to have to try to do is, since I got some tacks here, so we're kind of between this panel and this panel, between the two of them, they're kind of forcing each other a little bit. You know, one's pushing one way, the other's pushing the other way, so we're kind of running down the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut through both layers, the existing roof and the new panel, with a little cutoff disc. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut sections out in between the welds. Thusly. And once I cut a little envelope there, then my cut will be there for a butt weld. Then I'll put another weld in where I've just cut it, where in the piece that I've cut out. You know what I'm saying to you? Because they won't be lapped anymore. I'll cut the top piece away, pull the bottom piece up in between, and then that should maintain that, and then I'll come back, cut the pieces out with the tack welds, and I mean, and that should do it. You got to maintain control with this, because if you just go all free willy on it and just let her rip tater chip, chances are pretty good that you're going to wind up with a mess. I mean, it might work out for you, but I don't want to take that chance, because the dude that owns this truck ain't paying me to make a mess out of it now, is he? No, he's not. So here, I'll show you what I've done. See, I cut some chunks out, put some welds in, and there's just some little tabs weld left. So now I'll cut those tabs off, and then I'll continue working it around the corners and up that side. I like to wear these nice thin, what they call TIG welding gloves to do stuff like this, because you can feel it still through the glove, eh? You know what I'm saying to you? See what I'm saying here? Does that remind you of anything? Which one of Barker's Beauties was your favorite? Tell you which one I liked. She was one with, what do you call them? The sweater puppets? So, hey, you know, for a lot of this stuff, so I got a whole box of these little gizmos. See that guy? And this guy here? And then that over there? Panel clamps, is that what you call them? I don't care what you call them. So these aren't, they're not a savior on account of these angles here, like that's not right flat. Maybe you can make it flat, I don't know, but it ain't. And then the way these little gizmos work is you slip this little hunk of square stock that they come with, and then as you tighten up Mr. Wing Nizzut down here, see how it's pulling that in? And then so, if you don't know, because maybe you don't know, after you make your, here, let me get you in here a little bit. Yoink. So, where should I go? Here? So you made your cut with your cutoff wheel, your zinger. This little guy will fit right in there. Huh? Oh, son of a bitch. Oh! No, it's okay, I got it. So this little hoojimafuzz will fit in there. And then you take this guy here, and you give her some of this action, squeaky, 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 on the inside, and then you tighten it up. Now, it's not necessarily always going to do exactly what you want there. So in this instance, this is a little bit low from there. It's pretty good there, it's pretty good there, it's a little bit low there. So what I would do, and what I did, and what I've done, and what I'll continue to do, is I'll put this together, like we discussed previously, and then, so it doesn't necessarily bring that up. But if you lean on it this way, that little square dude will lift this up. Or if you lean on it this way, it'll push it down. Like when I lean on it like that, it pulls it up. The majority of these welds, I had this in between somewhere, and I either leaned it in one direction or another, and then you feel it with your finger, and then when it feels good, then you're there, right? You know what I'm saying to you? But yeah, these are cheap, they're shit, they're garbage, but they do have a purpose. I would not rely on these to get a perfect butt weld, you know, when you want to have a perfect butt. Don't count on that for a perfect butt. But it is a useful tool. So that's what I've done there, and I might even wind up doing it more, but I think for the most part I'm close enough that some of it, if I got to get in there and give her some of this, or on this thing I could even get in from the back side here and give a lean. But surprisingly enough, really, here, let's tilt you up a smidgen. So you can kind of see as I tilt that, like it done it. Hey, you know what I'm saying to you? It's not all, hey, like we got a nice steady, I mean, we still got the three-way action going on the inside there. Bow, chicka, bow, wow. But it's pretty good. Like, here, let's quit making you seasick here. There. Hey, what do you think of that? Stick it. There you go. But yeah, like it worked out good. It's not warped there. I don't have a bath in the middle of here. So on the inside, we're not going to have a banana hammock hanging down. Stepping on all kinds of shit. Like this is, you know, my corners that I trimmed out here and there. And they wound up here. So now what we do from this point is in between. You know what I'm saying? I know that you do. So that's what I'm going to do. Like they say, there ain't nothing to it but to do it. I would say when you get to the point of your welds being, like, go around randomly, but then when you get to the point of your welds being 1.5 inches, give or take, apart, then I go and then I start hanging my next weld off of an existing weld, and then randomly doing that around, and then filling in your gaps. Do you care? I don't know. That's, you know, wait, would you? So this did bath in a little bit. I'm not crazy about that, but I don't know. It was all right. Because I mean, it should have a bit of a crown to it. But then when I took the threesome out of the inside, boonk, it kind of dropped in. I mean, it's not real bad. I don't know. Can you see that? What are you looking at? Can you see? What are you looking at anyways? Wait, here, let me show you. Get out of the way, fatty cakes. Come on, I'll kick you in the ass. So you can see, ooh, that looks better or worse on camera than it actually does in real life. Huh. Anyways, I don't know, when you look at the inside, I mean, this is what you're going to see, right? And you're going to be sitting in it. And it's not really, I don't know, I can't really see it on the inside. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I mean, number one, I can't do nothing about it. I mean, it was up, and I already know that if you get in there and you start trying to beat that up and you start dinking around with it, you're not going to get anywhere with it because it's just going to bounce. You know what I'm saying to you? That's what it's going to do. It's just going to bounce. There's going to be a big double D bouncing going on. Because, I mean, like, that's just, can you see that bouncing? So, in order to bring this up, what you would have to do, if you were super concerned about it, is you would have to apply pressure to bring that up, and then you would have to lean this radius in a little bit. Because the reason that that's down is because all this welding shrunk up a little bit. It all shrunk up a little bit and it pulled it in, and that's what happened to it. So to put that metal back, because you need more metal in there for the crown. There's just not enough steel anymore because it shrank. So to get more steel in it, you got to push more steel into the middle. So to push more steel in the middle, you'd have to, here, let me get a bunker here. I got a bunker here somewhere. Look how fatty cakes. Where's my bunker? Oh, there's a bunker. So you would need to come in along this edge. You can see that bouncing while I'm doing that. See, we just have to put pressure up. Like that. You push it out like that. And then give it a bunch of that business. But I mean, it would take a lot. And naturally, you wouldn't be able to just do it like that. I think you would have to probably put like a block of wood on here, and you'd have to give her some business to push it. I'm not going to worry about that. I could have, the way to do this would have been if my center section would have been a little bit bigger. The best way to fix this would have been to be able to come around here and weld your roof in back here, and maybe even come into this pinch weld back here. But come into here onto this radius, because then you wouldn't have lost. But I couldn't do that. So this is the fix we get. He's gonna, the dude that owns this thing, he's gonna be happy. He's just gonna be happy that he doesn't get a sunroof anymore. And I mean, if this was my own personal truck and it looked like that on the inside, I mean, what the hell? Like, what are you on me about? Is that bad? No. Once that's cleaned up and painted, it's there, it's done, right? So the next step is going to be to clean the welds up a little bit on top. Like I said, I'm not going to get too concerned. I might even put some trim clad rust paint underneath here. Why not? And then once that sets up, I might endeavor to get that done yet today, get this blacked up today, or whatever the hell color I got. And then tomorrow, because I'm going to put some insulation in here, and then tomorrow I can glue the insulation and I can get the root cap on. We're sure moving around a lot here. Hey, that's the problem with rotisseries. They're everywhere, unless you got them on feet. But I'll show you what I mean about the inside being easier to deal with doing it this way. So instead of having a big nasty booger of a weld to have to grind off of there, now all I got to do is just clean up that little bit of bullshit. Okay? And I mean, that's not much. A quick little pass with a grinder over that. You know, that looks, that's funny, hey, the camera adds 10 pounds, because that looks worse than it is. There's nothing there, really. It'll take 5 minutes to whip over that with a grinder and then a finger full of filler, and bazinga. And clean the tack welds up. See, I didn't want to weld on the inside, but, oh well. Bang. It's the next day. It's been a day. Have a look. See, it looks different. So what I did, I mean, whatever. You can see it's black, right? So I painted it. I just used trim clad. I still say I don't know what they make that's any better. It's an oil-based paint. It's oil. How good is oil and water mix? Not real well. So, I don't know. I mean, it's cheap, it's there, it's easy, and I don't know if there's anything any better. You can't use a trim clad or an oil-based paint if you're going to do it any other kind of top coating over top of it, because it's oil-based and you can't put shit over it. So in that case, you want to use an epoxy or something. But for doing this, I mean, I'm not touching this again, and I'm putting one of these on. And then this stuff here, it's, what the hell did I do with it? Oh, I don't even know. Anyways, it's insulation, and it's basically, it's just, it's bubble wrap with aluminum foil on either side. I got it at a hardware store. It is pipe insulation. It's pretty cheap, and I mean, it's a lot of people up here, they'd want to put Dynamat or something down, but I don't know if I buy that, because it's tar paper. I don't think tar insulates heat very well. Where I got onto this stuff was I used to do heavy truck collision for a few years, you know, Kenworths, Peterbilt, stuff like that. And any time that I had to get inside a sleeper to repair a sleeper, well, the whole thing was lined with this kind of stuff. So I figured, okay. And yeah, like I said, it's not a whole bunch of money for this stuff. So I trimmed what was left of the roof off. I've cleaned the gutter up. You can see the silver stripe. Can you see the silver stripe? There's a silver stripe around there. The inside of the roof has been dealt with. The outside's been sandblasted. The flies have been shitting on it. And I just went around and hammered and dollied my lip all nice and spiffy like. So next is to huck it up there. Hopefully without folding it in half. I'm trying to tear the insulation up. Some days it would really be cool if there was somebody else hanging around here, you know. A lot of stuff would be a lot easier, but nobody likes me, so this is the way she goes. But I put a roof on a 69. And they bought the roof for it. And that roof was almost 2 inches too short. And I ain't even joking. That was a bummer. Whereas this one is damn near too big. Oh yeah! There, you just got to give her one of them. Another one of those. Another one of those. Take that, you dirty bastard. Oh yeah, come on up out of there, would you? Alright. There'll be some clamping involved. Just a minute. Take that, you dirty son of a bitch. Oh yeah. Cut it out. So that's how you fix it. That's how you de-sunroofitize something. Sunroofalator. Sunroof get this guy, you know. So there's our work inside. I'm gonna have to rebalance the old titsery here now because now with this thing being this top heavy, it really wants to take off on a guy. But there it is. There you go. I'm not going to bother showing you me weld it because who gives a shit. I'm going to get a welder out and I'm going to go so whatever. I don't really know what else to tell you. I mean, once I get welded that welded up, there's nothing left to do but everything else.